Hello, friends. Welcome to Coding Garden with CJ. I've had a little bit of technical difficulties this morning, but I'm ready to get started. First of all, thank you everyone so much for all the supports. Ripley with the 10 gifted subs, very much appreciated. Let me go through all the things that happened because we're just getting started. We're just getting started, everybody. Hello, welcome. Okay, so Florin with the gifted sub to Drills, thank you very much, Florin. The She-Boss with the gifted sub to Sniper, thank you. Ripley with the 10 Tier 1 gifted subs. I'm having flashbacks to last night. So we got gifted over like 375 subs last night, which was just insane. I'm still kind of trying to process it. But yeah, that happened. Gazija with the resub, welcome. Thank you for the 3 months. J Philly Webb with the 3 months as well. Thanks for being here. Bogus with the 2 month Twitch Prime resub. Thank you very much. Fishy Coding with the 2 month Twitch Prime resub, and all the bits in the world. Loose Mons with the 10 bits. Loose Mons with another 10 bits. Funny Dude with the 500 bits. Razor with the 200 bits. Andrew Lane with the 15 bits. Quantum with the 10 bits. Florin with the 500 bits. Thank you, Florin. I appreciate you. Did we get a shout out for Florin? Ripley with 100 bits. J Philly Webb with 100 bits. And Florin Pop with another 100 bits. We successful level 5 hype train, everyone. Great work. That was level 5, right? That happened? Yeah. Oh, there we go. We got a shout out for Florin. Very good. Yeah, but check out Florin. He comes from the land of YouTube just like I do. Let me give me just a second. And thank you, Wolfie, for that 2 month resub. Very much appreciated. But give me just a second. So I'm trying a new thing today where I'm premiering a video on YouTube right now while I'm live right now. Revive Newt! Stop it! Revive Newt with the gifted subs. Thank you very much, Revive Newt, for those gifted subs. And also thank you to 420 Filthy for that Twitch Prime 60 Twitch Prime sub. All right. Thank you, Revive Newt. It's very much appreciated. Is that okay? Okay, but yeah, I'm premiering a video on YouTube right now while I'm streaming live. And I have a bot running that is sending a message in the Premiere chat that's telling the YouTube people to come over to Twitch. And I think I got it working. But I just also want to make sure I'm not like revealing any API keys or anything on my screen. Yeah, that looks good. There's that. There's that. Okay. Close that. Yeah. And there's 27 people watching the premiere on YouTube right now, so that's pretty funny. Everyone has marquees in their status. That's awesome. Well, welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Coding Garden with CJ. Florin Pop with more bits. 100 bits. Thank you very much, Florin. There's a timer on my screen. There should not be a timer on my screen. But yes, if you can see in the stream title, I guess it's down there. How's the new Twitch layout work? I don't know. But today we're going to be working on ideas. So there is... The thing is, I added some new things to this morning to make it faster, but there's a small bug, and I think I'm just gonna leave it because I don't want to restart the server. So thank you very much, Turtle Monkey, for those 100 bits. But so here's what you can do: if you type exclamation mark, well, actually, we already have plenty of ideas already submitted, so we're just gonna try and implement these. And the thing is, the majority of these are about like overlays. So we'll be adding new features to my chat overlay here, adding potentially things to other things on the screen. It's all about improving the stream and making it better for you all and anybody else that's here. So that's the plan today. And as you can also see in the stream title, and thank you very much, Sam, for those 200 bits. Wow. What you can also see in the stream title is I'm going on vacation. Oh, you got a table flip status. Very nice. So I'm going on vacation, I think for at least 5 days. It's a staycation. I'm not going anywhere, but I am going to unplug. I am going to uninstall Discord and Slack and YouTube and Twitch and my email and I'm just going to sit at home and do very little, if anything, and kind of rest and yeah, all that. Because I have not. Yeah, it's like a quarantine vacation for sure. Can Panzer stream instead of me? I mean, I would not be opposed to setting up a live stream of a camera pointed at my dog with like lo-fi music playing in the background. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Netflix and so much Netflix. Well, actually, so I've been watching Korra, which is the sequel to Avatar: The Last Airbender, because I finished Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's a great show. For one, it's a great show. But I started watching Korra, and it's okay. It's nothing like Avatar. It's nothing. I'll just say that it's nothing like Avatar. Korra is privileged and stubborn. She doesn't meditate enough. She takes the shortcut way all the time. She doesn't learn from her mistakes. I don't know. All right, what are we doing? Let's say hello to everybody. Actually, before I do that, let's all play the drop game. So if you're new here, the drop game allows you to drop an emote or your avatar, and it could land on the guarding. So if you do !drop followed by an emote, and I'm gonna drop the Yerba emote. This is kind of like our hype emote, because I like to drink Yerbas. Look at all the drops. And thank you. I think it was Florin with the bits. Very much appreciated. How much vacation? I was thinking like at least 5 days, at least like close to a week. I'll probably stream next weekend. But look at that, yeah. So if your drop, oh, there comes a Boga. Boga, hey. Oh, got knocked. Very unfortunate. Kappa. But you'll see if your drop lands here in the center, it shows your name on my screen. And oh, that's a good one. Who's this? Foxel T. Great work. And so I will say there's a 90-second cooldown on the drop game, so you can only drop once every 90 seconds. There's no bot will tell you anything in the chat, so you just have to remember every 90 seconds. It is a little pause, but I think the main thing about it is really unplugging and deliberately, like, not checking my phone for notifications, not looking at messages, because even all of that can be taxing as a content creator. And thank you very much, J. Philly Web, for the 100 bits. Yeah, Reviving It, you had a really good drop yesterday. Yes, the bot. Well, actually, the bot will stay plugged in. You can keep using bot commands. All right, there's that. You can also do. Oh yeah, so if you want to know about my break timer, that's this thing. And every now and then it'll pop up. It's gonna pop up in about 3 minutes. Let's say hello to all the new followers. Welcome everyone. Hello to Shanat. Thanks for being here. And Hardtuber. And 1, 2, 3 and up. And into one, thanks for following. Cake in a Box, thank you. Leander, thank you. Dragotic, thanks for the follow. And Farahan, thanks for the follow. And also, Miros. And Dinesh Kid, thanks for being here. And Adrian. And Avarium. And Crazy Dreamer, thanks for all for being here. Welcome to the Coding Garden. And the Omni King, welcome. We got some redemptions. James Dev has redeemed 1 line of code. We'll try it. We'll get to it. Thank you, Ramoon, for that hydrate. And Smiley for the hydrate as well. Cheers. We'll hold on to that 1 line of code. And all. Let's say hi. This is epic. What's up, Hollyboy? Let's say hi to all the people. So if you'd like to say hi, you can say hi, hello, hey, morning, afternoon, or howdy. Or staycation. So if English is not your first language, a staycation is when you go on vacation but you don't go anywhere. And that's what I'm about to do. So if you say any of those things, I will acknowledge you. What's up, Andrew? Hello. Luke and Lechi and Lakshman and Cozy and Potato and Portal Gaming and Anestra and ABS and Cautico and so my messages are disappearing too fast. There's too many messages. I have to scroll a bit. Cyber Tim, what's up? Ed and MMG and Blazer Prime and Bogus, who says I'm a Java dev. Know a little bit of React. Suggest some projects I can work on. I would say build a backend API with Java and write a React app that talks to it. What's up, Silvis? And Floor and Pop, how's it going? Karate Wump, how's it going? What's up, RSJ Styles? And the Sheik? And Rikit. What's up, Sheik? Is he crying? I'm probably crying. I was crying. I don't know. Last night was weird for me. What's up, Jer? And a big hairy woman and Sniper, how's it going? And Fishing, hello. And Varun and Mishka and Mitzik. Hello, and so then, and Erhan, and one Bomi, how's it going? And Sanket, hello. What's up, Revive Newt? Thank you very much for those gifted subs. Oh, yeah, welcome, Crazy Dreamer. Thanks for being here. And what's up, Tanwan? Yeah, I sent a link to my break timer earlier. That one's for Mac only. There's one called Stretchly that's cross-platform. And welcome, Adrian. First time in the live stream. Very good. And hello, Ademate. Welcome. Leandra says, just passed to follow you and say hello. Oh, nice. Well, you have a good study. Thanks for dropping by. Hello, Diogo and Koozie and Smiley. And Dinesh, what's up, Julian? How's it going? Flood the stream with drops so we can't see anything. What's nice is there is a 90-second cooldown. So I think, there's over 200 people watching. I think over 200 people dropped. And you all have to wait 90 seconds before you can drop again. What's up? Never Lucky, how's it going? And Sniper, Ollie Boy, and Renz, and Jawigs, and Pascat. Sam says, I make sure to unplug every weekend so I can be completely present for my kiddos. I can't wait to go camping with them and the family again. No phones, no tablets, nothing. That's great. So I've talked about this before, but in our industry, like in programming and software development, like it's and also the industry of live streaming and like YouTube video creation, it's very easy to burn out. And the thing I've always said, thank you very much, Florin, for that gifted sub. But the thing about, and a lot of people have said this, but it's like, if you are feeling burnt out, it's too late. Like you have to be preemptive and take breaks before you're feeling burnout so that you don't get burnout. And actually doing it once a week is sounds awesome. I think it'd be difficult for me, but it sounds awesome. And what's up, MMG and RSJ Styles. Happy Jojo, how's it going? Ramoon, tomorrow. Staycation. What's up, Sven? Thank you for that follow. How's it going, Adrian? Howdy. Hello. What's up, Florin? Staycation. All I ever wanted. Hello, Emphy and Commodore Dragon. Revive Newt with a gifted sub. Yeah, I think Revive Newt just wants to get to the top of that leaderboard. Thank you so much, Revive Newt. Was that 2 gifted subs? Yeah, 2 gifted subs. Very much appreciated. Wow. But there you go. You're at the top, Revive Newt, and those other people are not in the chat today, so I think you got a good chance of remaining on top. Higgins, thank you for that Twitch Prime sub. What's up, Hacks and Adnan? How's it going? Hello, Cody Boy and Nandos and Potato and Mallow and Ariel. How's it going? And Brendan. Welcome. Catch you in your staycation. Nice. What's up, Leachy? And Tanwan and Alligatorus. Hello. In the UK, it's a home day instead of a vacation. So a day where you just stay at home. I like that. Undefined Nullish. How's it going? What's up, Sarayo? James Dev. How's it going? Evil J. Hello. Miris. Sniper. Orbux. Pintapuff. How's it going? What's up, Waxman? And Adamate. And thank you very much, Florin, for those 100 bits. Who says, shout out to Anestra, a great designer looking for new gigs. Hey, nothing wrong with a little self-promo, I guess. Just don't spam my channel with it. And that was okay. That was a tactful self-promo. And actually it was a promo of somebody else. I don't know. Random Tim, how's it going? Avi, who says, my extension has already downloaded 30 times. That's nice. Yeah, so if you feel free to link it, Avi, but Avi created a Twitch extension where it will automatically click the rewards button on Twitch chat, which is pretty nice. And what's up, GM Awesome and Farahan? I've been having a staycation for at least 100 days. Pretty much everyone has, and the majority of people has, yeah. Oh, Revive Newt, hello. Of course, hello. What's up, Decodes and Nico and So Then and Ilumix, what's up? And Zermax, Sven says, first time watching you live. Very cool, thanks for being here. Build a command that lets users run bash commands from the chat. That sounds dangerous. We could hook it up. The thing is, we could hook it up to a virtual machine. That actually could be pretty fun. Where Twitch chat. The thing is, all it takes is one person to rm-rf/. We could restrict commands. I don't know. That's a funny idea. And hello, Wolfie. And what's up, Rofields and Jim McDonald and Devman and Toasted Cheeses and Renz and Utori. My staycation will be 5 days at least, maybe more, but at least 5 days. And hello, Nandos and Fluffy Plums and Young D, Zendobry in 2-1. Thanks for being here. Hello, Tap the Bottle. Thank you, MMG. I do not have kids. No, it's just me and my partner and our dog. What's up, One Leg Chair? And actually, we're going to be dog sitting a dog, I think next Friday or something like that. They came over yesterday and we got to meet them. It's a chill dog. I forget what normal's house, how big. I forget the size of normal sized dogs because we have a Saint Bernard and he's gigantic. So anytime I see any other dog, I'm like, that's a tiny dog. No, that's a normal sized dog. I just have a giant dog. What's up, Owls and Riven Daddy? Thank you for that follow. Yeah, we had a hype train already, David, before the stream started. I stopped using import cost. It's a pretty cool plugin, but I stopped using it. And Sanket, thank you very much for the hello. I don't know why I'm thanking you, but thank you. Thank you for saying hello. I appreciate you. Cryphonic, how's it going? What's up, Drills and Waleed? Oh, what's up, Anestra? And Differdev, how's it going? In Germany, it's a balconycation. That's interesting. And Vlados, how's it going? Decodes, what's up? Yeah, shout out Nestra, who has been streaming Null in Null. Oh, that's good to hear, David. Yeah, David's been working hard on that for sure. And James with the gifted sub. Thank you very much for that gifted sub, James. Much good stuff. But yeah, David's been working on this tool called just Stream Chat. Feel free to link it, David. So any Twitch streamers that are watching, David and a few others are working on an open source tool. Bob with the resub. Bob's a founder here. Thanks for being here, Bob. But yeah, there it is. Check out that link. And so if you like this overlay, you're gonna like Dish Stream Chat. So David and Kobe and Murdoch have all been working on it. It's very similar to my overlay, but it's built in a way that other people can use it. So yeah. How can we do local storage? In Electron, it's exactly the same as the web. You just use local storage. I've honestly been less productive in quarantine, I'll say that. Yeah. What's up, J. Kate? Recent grad, been watching me, finally caught me. Well, welcome. Thanks for being here. What's up, Panda Person and Potato and Katiko? Yeah, so the dog is afraid to come downstairs. I'm in the basement. He will not come down the stairs. Hello, Loose-mans. I have a horse, not a dog, basically, or like a bear. It's true, Turtle Monkey, but we're almost there. I mean, we've only been live for 15 minutes. I mean, I've been on screen for like 15 minutes, and we're almost at hi to most people. It's sort of new. The thing is, I actually plan on writing some code today, which is why I'm in science and tech. And I mean, but I've like tried to figure out. It's basically like A/B testing. Like, what's better? Should I be in just chatting, or should I just be in science and technology? The thing is, when I'm in just chatting, I actually get quite a bit more follows per stream, and there's a lot more new people that come in. And my channel is very beginner friendly, so like that. And the thing about Twitch is the science and technology category is actually very small. Let's just go look at let's just look at Twitch really quick. If we look at browse, so if we look at viewers high to low, like just chatting has 231,000 viewers watching a various assortment of channels. But if you look at science and technology, it's way down. Like it's never more than a few thousand people in that particular category. Did I look at this? Yeah, so it's way down on the list. And so there are a lot of people on Twitch that actually don't know about the science and technology category. Whereas just chatting is extremely popular and a lot of people will like organically find me. But yeah, I don't know. I've thought about it. I don't know. I think like technically when I'm in the science and tech category, I'm pretty high on the list. Yeah, see, we're number 2 right behind someone playing or working on a 3D platformer, which is pretty cool. But yeah. What's up, Nico? How do I keep my API cache in sync with my database? That's a tough problem that I cannot answer right now. But if you do !ask, we can get to it in like 2 weeks. There's a lot going on. And hello, Badsha. How's it going? What's up, Mark? And Nocturnal Conspiracy. Can I pronounce occasion? Is that what you mean? Oh, wow. Sam has a 4-year-old St. Bernard. Yeah. Yep. Ours is 4 years old, too. And he will... Yeah, so these stairs are really steep, which is why he's afraid of them, because he will go up and down some stairs. But if they're too steep, Or also, look, like outdoor stairs. So stairs where you can see through them. He is terrified. Like, he will not. But yeah. Yeah, I say hi to a lot of people twice. What's up, Nandos? Again. It's true. So it's nice that science and tech is small. Like, it actually prevents a lot of the, like, spammers and negativity and trolls and stuff like that, because it's very, like, community focused. But, I mean, if you want to grow, you gotta take risks and be in the just chatting category. Yeah. And thank you very much, Unfair, for that tier 1 sub. Much appreciated. Yeah, exactly, Wolfie. And like, I'm trying to balance education and entertainment and also just hanging out. We have a definite community vibe here. I don't know. Yeah, so Sylvis just learned about science and tech. So that's awesome. What's up, Andy the Hun? Shibas says, can you give a clear definition of back-end development? Some people define it only in terms of web development. Some people define it as desktop or mobile development. When people ask, I just say, I'm not a front-end and non-full stack developer. Let them figure it out. I think this is a good question. Because, yeah, a lot of people have different definitions of what it means. I was probably like 6 months ago, I was a contractor. Well, like I still work at my current company, Phonemphy. Thank you for that host. But I was working at my current company, but contracting for another company, and they had much more, let's say, like, experienced as people, like developers that have been in the world of development for like 30-40 years, and they have a very different definition of like front end, back end. For me, I like to draw the line, and especially because the way I build applications is like single page applications with JavaScript that just live in the web browser. Thank you very much, DS Legends, for that resub. You've been with us for 2 months. 2 months. Hearts in the chat for all the people that have been here for so long. But when I build apps, like, there's a very clear delineation between what is the front end and what is the back end. And typically my back ends are JSON APIs. And thank you very much, Jules, for that host as well. So that's kind of where I draw, like, if you're writing code that the user does not see and will potentially be consumed by some other client, that is back-end code. However, you can build apps that are like server-side rendered, and then it's like a mix between front-end and back-end, but technically the majority of that code is back-end code. And then really when you're talking about desktop or mobile, I consider that front-end because it's what the user is interacting with, and typically desktop and mobile apps these days will communicate with an API. I mean, they really shouldn't have embedded SQL code. It used to be that way. I remember when on my in my first job finding like VB.NET apps that people would install on and use on their desktop. But when you look at the source code, it's like literally code that connects directly to a SQL database, which is okay, but there's like security risks and all the kinds of things. But when you start to separate that into an API with like specific API users, then it's better. I don't know. But yeah, people call it different things. I would say, like, so you're, as far as I know about you, you're getting a computer science degree, you're writing a lot of Java. You're probably closer to a back-end developer. But if you ever build websites or things that people are interacting with, I consider that front-end development. I don't know. And thank you very much, Jim, for that extended sub. Much appreciated. I didn't know you could do that. Okay, hello, Shoebomb and Drills. It's you again. A very sensible dog, yeah. What's up, FV? Cation, removing the O. Is that like a bad word in Hindi or Urdu or something? What is Cation? All right, see you later, Lechi. Thanks for dropping by, and thank you for the thanks for being here, and I will see you when I get back. And hello, Nabin and Moan. How's it going? When will the coding start? One day. Hello, TG. Static analysis. I mean, I use a linting tool. But I haven't really used any tool that like analyzes if code potentially will cause vulnerabilities or throw errors and stuff like that. I mainly just use like a linter. Yeah. Bootstrap or Bulma? If I had to choose right now, Bootstrap because I'm more familiar with it. But I kind of like the way Bulma looks a little bit better. Hello, Drills again. What's up, Co-Effect? Coach Joe. Oh, thank you, Coach Joe. Thanks for being here. Shout out Coach Joe. He's a member of our Live Coders team. Razor One, hello. What do you think about a DevOps as a career? I think it's extremely viable and actually very lucrative. I live in Denver, Colorado. A side note, but DevOps pays a lot. And it's kind of like you do a little bit of coding, but it's mostly configuration. But the one tricky thing about having a DevOps job is typically you have to be on call. Because if you're managing servers, you have like notifications if a server goes down or if there's issues. And so you get paid a lot because you you have to potentially be ready to fix things when they break. Yeah, and Razor One is saying operations is hard. It is. It is. Is there advantage to not using WebSockets and Feathers? I mean, the advantage is Feathers does a lot for you, so you can build a simple app, maybe not expose it as real time. And thank you very much, CoEffect, for that posture check. I mentioned it, Gerbin. You don't have to ask twice. I live in Denver, Colorado. All right, we got some follows, and then we're gonna try to write some code. We're gonna do our best. Thank you to Young D for the follow. Hello, Crow Tom. And it's Ignis. Hello. And Can't Lie. Thank you for the follow. And Salel. Thank you for the follow. And Moan. Thank you for the follow. Let me just see. Yeah, we're in slow mode. We're going to increase slow mode. We're going to 30-second slow mode. All right, this is my break timer that everybody always talks about. So if you've been sitting at home, feel free to stand up. Take a quick stretch. For one, just take your hands off the mouse and keyboard. Prevent repetitive strain injuries. Jazz hands. Okay. Thank you, Monajar, for that follow. J. Kate, thanks for the follow. Brooms, thank you. Angelo, thank you. iSwitch, thank you very much. And Lazy Pigeon, thank you for the follow. I will mention, we are at 9,700 followers. And I have acknowledged pretty much every single one. So that's over 9. Well, actually, I've gotten a lot of follows when I wasn't streaming, so I haven't had the chance to acknowledge those. But yeah, I am using an external keyboard. If you do ! Keyboard in the chat, you can get a link. Thank you, James Dev, for that hydrate. Mark, thank you for the hydrate. And Happy Jojo, thank you for the posture check. And everyone, Pink Bunny Man is here. Thank you for being here, Pink Bunny Man. And Jackhammer, thanks for the follow as well. Over 9,000! Why don't I hide automat actions? Oh, because I mean, I like to mod every now and then. I see what you mean, though. Wait, that? What are automat? Oh. Thank you. I see what you mean, because I wouldn't. Yeah, that makes sense. Because I wouldn't want to show things that the mods are working on and could potentially approve or deny. That's a great thing. Okay, there's a lot happening. I'm doing my best. Thank you all for sticking with me. Look at that. There's 43 people watching on YouTube right now. Hey, Jaspreet. You probably don't see this, but yeah, look at my bot. It's sending a message. This is an archive of a past Twitch stream. CJ is live right now on Twitch. I think that's a good thing. Like, I don't know if this is violating any YouTube things, because I'm not posting a video that tells them to go somewhere else. I have the video and I'm just putting in the chat that's just like, hey, if you want to, you can come tune in on Twitch. And thank you, Loose Mons, for the hydrate. There's one called Stretchly that will work. I like Vue.js the most. I've talked about why before, but it's nice. Nice. I also didn't acknowledge you. Oh, okay. I guess that makes sense. I probably acknowledged at least half, right? At least half of followers. What's up, Kezban? Oh, nice. Yeah, I like my mechanical keyboard. Yeah, we've been greeting for 45 minutes. And hello, Must One Matrix. Thanks for being here. Thanks for the follow. Alligatorus with the stretch. All right, we're gonna just scroll. We're just gonna scroll. Thank you, FV. Thank you, Crigary, for that follow. And Faster Than Light for that follow. I have an old meetup talk on security and Node, but I based that talk off of a blog post, so I'm sure you can find good resources online. You're not in my in credits? You have to be. Oh, look at the VOD. I think you're there. You have to be. And Greedy Boy, thank you for that follow. What's up, Fan B? Thank you, Zacatine. Excuse me for that hydrate. Vue is a beautiful thing. I don't know if I would add anything to it. I'm sending one message every minute. And Prod Hunter, let me give her that follow. Biggest win so far in 2020. I would say, hey, Shadow K Loud. Thank you for that Twitch Prime stuff. I mean, honestly, I like the fact that I have switched to majority Twitch, and have enabled affiliate and monetization on Twitch. Like, I've said it before, but I made more money on Twitch, and I know it's not all about the money, but it what's the word? It makes me think that what I'm doing here, it's possible to do something like this and make a living from it. Because before on YouTube, I really didn't make much money. I have like ads enabled, and it was just not that much because my videos don't get that many views. But on Twitch, there's community support. Like, it's like the fact that all of these gifted subs came in last night, I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. But what that means is there are certain people in the community that are able to support me, and also give benefits to the people in my community as well. Whereas YouTube has nothing like that. And a lot of the people that are watching on YouTube, Coden Canuck, thank you for the 100 bits. But a lot of the people that are watching on YouTube, I'm talking to you 41 people watching, they're not as accustomed or familiar to supporting content creators. They're used to just watching ads and supporting them in that way. So I think my biggest win this year is seeing that Twitch is viable for me as a career path. I'm not there yet, and it'll probably be like a year before I even think about doing something like this full time. But that's the biggest win, I would say. Amen. Thank you for that follow. Last stream before vacation. I'm going to take like a 5 to 7 day vacation. And thank you, Shadow K Loud, for the follow as well. All right. Satisfying. Yeah, last night was crazy. Yeah, so I have memberships, but people don't use them. I mean, especially the fact that I'm streaming on Twitch now. And what's up, Milky Dev? Yeah, it is awesome. Did we get a shout out for Milky Dev? We need to just have a Milky detector. Milky Way? Wait, isn't there like a milk emote? What happened to the milk emote? Or milk emoji? That one. Everybody should drop a glass of milk in honor of the Milky Dev. There's that glass of milk. React encourages functional programming. Check out Vue.js 3. It's very similar with composable functions and things like that. I wouldn't say functional programming is the future of front-end. I would say it's a fad right now. We'll find better ways. Who's that? Oh, look at all the milk. Oh, no, I did not feel bad. No, I was just wondering why you wanted me to say it. No, I didn't feel bad. You thought I would pronounce it as Cajun. Yeah, so I see it as Cation because in English, C-A-T-I-O-N is usually the end of a word. Like vacation, automation. Words that end in Asian. Nation, differentiation, rationalization, intermodulization. So in English, this is like a shun sound to me. That's all. Yeah, you did not offend me. No. And OMG, it's proof. Thank you for that follow. And anonymous cheerer with a gifted sub. Thank you very much. All right, we gotta get into this. Wait, I think I have this. I appreciate that, David. Yeah. I've thought about it. The thing is, like, Twitch allows me to just kind of do what I want. And the thing about publishing a course is it takes a ton of planning. Like, honestly, it's a lot more work. It's a lot more work to plan what course do you want to create and what's the curriculum and all those things. Whereas on Twitch, I can kind of just go live when we do the Q&A streams. Every now and then we'll get some content out of that because I'll, like, teach a lesson on the spot and it will be good enough to upload. Whereas a course you really have to plan in. But that said, like, this is definitely another source of income that I might explore. I don't have the time, and so yeah. Oh, thank you very much for that gifted sub, Anonymous. um, I think we're gonna celebrate 10,001 followers. That's the celebration. A whole lot of cows. Yeah. Look at what you did. Careful. Oh, thank you, Andy the Hun. Did I get hacked? What? Cation. Cat ion. Positively charged ion. Yeah. So I'm not familiar with that term, and that makes sense if that's how you actually pronounce it, cation. But if I see it, I think I just see it as cation. Yeah, suffix. And thank you, Miro Dev, for the follow. Are we going to write code today? I'm just going to scroll. We're going to acknowledge the follows, and then we're going to write code. Pansutakar, thank you for the follow. And OJ Peter, thank you for the follow as well. Dink Simmons with the stretch. Is learning Java in 2020 feasible? Yeah, absolutely. Java's still relevant. Anonymous Gifter with a gifted sub. Thank you so much, Anonymous. Anonymous. Oh, you. Yeah, C# and Java are both good options if you want to go into like the enterprise world. Slippery floor. All right, so I'm going to take a look at the ideas that have been submitted, and thank you, Great Time, for that follow. I'm just going to scroll. It doesn't matter if you've submitted an idea and you're here or not. If I like that idea, we're going to work on it. An AI that writes code, that would be the dream, wouldn't it? This is an easy one. So Andrew Lane is saying, remove the follow filter once you remove all the follows in the chat. And so what this idea is suggesting is, so over here on my overlay, and yeah, it is open source. I'll show you where the code is for it. But on my overlay, I have this button which filters by follows. And what Andrew is saying, and Andrew, you can confirm this, is we should basically just hide the button if there are no follows. So we could probably do the same thing with rewards and parking lot. If there are none, don't show that button. Is that what you're saying, Andrew? Now? Why does Twitch video lag stop start? Well, I don't know. Can anyone tell me, do we have transcoding right now? Let's see. Yeah, we do have transcoding. Nice. What's up, Doc? But it could happen because of bandwidth. So you could oh, Anonymous. Do I know you? I bet I know you, Anonymous. Thank you very much for those gifted subs. And Alex Craven, thank you very much for the bits. But yeah, you can if you lower the quality, it'll potentially stop buffering like that. You also can turn off low latency, and that will prevent buffering as well. Added a comment. Where did it go? I don't see it. Is my app broken? I bet I mean, I probably do. But thank you very much, Anonymous Gifter. Oh. I meant that once you remove all messages in a filter, it should go back to the regular chat. Oh, I like that idea too. Like automatically switch. Like the moment I've acknowledged everything, just switch back. Annihilating the chicken stream. Yeah, thank you, Milky Dev. It's interesting. I mean, I think that's why like a lot of people, and thank you, Alex Craven, for the 400 bits. Very much appreciated. But a lot of people see science and tech, and then like at the top is always the chickens. There's that earthquake stream. And then there's like a couple of other things that it's like passive watching, I guess. I don't know. Yes. When you pronounce yes, including E at the beginning, most people say it wrong. I don't know. Oh, I'll let you all. What they're talking about specifically is if you go in the science and technology category, yeah, I think it'd be cool to have like a separate programming stream for sure. But if you go into science and tech, there is this stream right here, Our Wonderful Chicken Life. And it's just a camera pointed at chickens, and you can send them bits which will emit food, and then they'll eat the food. There's over 100 people watching the channel right now. Okay, let's do this. Revive Newt! Ah! 1,500 bits. Thank you very much, Revive Newt. You were too kind. So I'm gonna work on this overlay that you see right here. This is an open source project. It's called SproutKit. I will say, like, it's open source. You're more than welcome to take this code, do whatever you want with it, but it's not exactly consumable yet. Meaning, if you are non-technical, it would be fairly hard to take all of my code for this and use it on your stream. I want to change that. I want to make it usable and consumable. It's just going to take some work because it's just a big mess of code that I've been adding to and tinkering with for like over the past year or so. Yeah. Oh, nice bot shot. Thanks for being here. So I'm gonna open up the code. I mean, you could, yeah. But the thing is, like, it will take effort to get set up. And there's multiple parts to it, so I'll mention this. So this repo, the API, quick stretch, quick break. Let me minimize this. So this repo, coding.garden API, is the basis for this overlay and a lot of the other overlays as well. This is an API, this is a backend that takes in Twitch chats and emits them as socket events. And the main reason I do that is because I do some backend processing, like parsing emotes and turning that into like markdown code. There are various things that are happening on the backend. So this backend is the thing that's kind of like powering everything. So you would first have to get this backend up and running. There are some endpoints on here for like the YouTube API, but if you're using this for Twitch, you can just ignore the YouTube API. And cool. And this API is also the thing that powers Vox. So the same API that powers my overlays in the chat is powering this Vox thing as well. So there's the API. You could probably spend an hour or two just trying to get that set up. Because like I said, it's not really consumable yet. I really want to create some Docker containers and make some better documentation. But the code is all there. I will say that. Okay, so that's the backend. And then this thing is called SproutKit. And so SproutKit is the latest version of all of these things, because it used to be that these were all separate apps. So like there's this overlay. Florin with the $5 tip who says, how's the donation alert looking? I'm curious. Yeah, we haven't changed it. So this is the one that comes directly from Streamlabs. But yeah, but thank you very much, Florin. So if you look at this screen, it has to update because there's a lot of messages. The chat messages here are actually using the same the same components as the overlay that you saw on my other screen, but these are two separate apps. And then if we take a look at my intro screen, well, so here's the thing. These things have been running in the background, which is why the chats are like, it's so difficult for them to load. But these messages are all using those same components. And it used to be that they were all totally separate projects with like copy pasted code, and now I'm consolidating them all into this SproutKit repo. So this SproutKit repo has the chat card components themselves. It has the integration code to talk to that backend. It has an Electron app that does this. It has the two overlays that I just showed you. All of that code is in here. And then I think we have a component website. Sproutkit.now.sh. Yeah, and so these are examples of all the components. We have like an avatar component, a chat card component, a way of setting action lines, and all that good stuff. Limit the intro waiting overlay to like 10 messages, since it's not meant. Yeah, that would make sense. Because right now, I think they're just all like hidden off of the screen. Cool. So this is the front end, and like I said, it's not that consumable. If you're a technical person, you could probably get it up and running, but it's not ideal. We'll get there. We'll get there eventually. It's hard. It's hard because we're doing it all live on stream, and I'm trying to interact with the chat and still be productive. But okay, that's the code. And now, I think you could do it, Milky. I just mean for anybody else. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna work on the code for this overlay, and what Andrew has suggested is. So I have these buttons up at the top here. And well, thank you, Lakshman. Whenever so like this. So a reward was just redeemed, and you can see that that number went up. And somebody just followed, like Ezio. Sorry, everyone. And you can see that the heart just went up. And what I can do is I can filter. So I can click on that, and it only shows me the follows, or I can click on this, and it only shows me the rewards. And what Andrew is suggesting, thank you, Javis. And what's up, CC Gaming Twitch? How's it going? But what Andrew is suggesting is after I've acknowledged everything on a particular tab, it should just automatically switch back to the messages. So let's figure out how we might implement that. Okay, so this is going to be in my chat app. And so the way this is structured right now is it's one big Vue.js application. All of the completely reusable components are here in this components directory. And then I have components that are wrapping those components to make them Coding Garden specific. So it has these colors and all that good stuff. Oh, thank you, Q21. Okay, so we're looking at chat. And also, I'm ashamed of my code. It works. My code works, but I'm still ashamed of it. Like, this is one app component with all of the code for interacting. Like, this action bar should probably be in a separate component. Regardless. Let's see. So, and thank you very much, Lakshman, for that resub. Very much appreciated. Look at 242. Okay, I'll look at that one next. So focus mode, I technically could enable it, yeah. But focus mode is only enabled through a chat message because I want my bot to send those messages. I'll do 2 minutes of focus just to show people that. So this is a separate bot that listens for this command and then starts sending messages on an interval in the chat. Yeah, and I'm only ashamed of it because there's so many eyes on it. Like if I had the time to make it better, I would, but I'm doing my best. Message before focus mode. So when I go into focus mode, this thing becomes transparent, and then you can see in my chat, Samwise is sending a message on an interval that says we're in focus mode. It's saying when it's going to end, but there's a bot that manages sending the messages, and then my overlay, all it's doing is listening for messages that come from my account that say focus start, or messages that come from the bot that say focus end. And that's just changing the transparency of the overlay. So I could have a button here that just starts focus mode. The only issue with that is I would then need to send a message in the Twitch chat so that my bot could see and start it. Yeah, and right now it's all running locally. The backend is hosted somewhere. So the backend is hosted the same place that's running this Vox website. But the Electron app is just running on my machine. All of the overlays are if you look at my OBS sources, it's just a bunch of 10.IP addresses pointing to this machine right here with all of the overlays that are running. Yeah, and then I can do like focus end, and it goes out of focus mode. Okay. So when I acknowledge a follow, currently we have toggle filter follow. So I think what we're going to do is when we acknowledge a message, if that message was a follow, then we check to see how many follows are left. And if that count is 0, we automatically switch back to, no filter. What does toggle filter do? Toggle filter. Extra max, good job. And Flavio Copes, thank you for that follow. The here command is just for people that have been asking questions. It basically, so on the Vox website, if you haven't sent a question or done exclamation mark here in a while, it'll be gray, and that way I just know that these people aren't actually live in the chat right now. Yeah, what's up, probably an octopus? I mean, I didn't gift it to you, but yeah. Welcome, Mad Villain. Yeah, so gray is people that are not currently live or in the Twitch chat. I'm just trying to figure out, how do I disable the filters? I wrote this code, by the way. Filters.follow. Okay, I think all I need to do is when I acknowledge the message, I'll say, wait. That's doing that. And I'll say, whoa. And really, this actually happens on updated. Yeah, if the length is equal to 0, the only issue is the array is a computed property. So I need to make sure that I'm accessing it at the right time. What am I doing? Stop doing that. Okay, so let's just try it right here. We'll say if message.type is equal to follow. And I think I'll do that. So basically, I need this code to execute after all of the computed properties have been updated. One line of code. Yeah, we did it. I need this code to run after all computed properties have been updated, because like I technically could do like this dot I'll say if this dot filtered messages dot length is equal to 0, meaning I've acknowledged everything, then just turn the follow filter off. Let's see if this works. Yeah, and so you can see my overlay automatically restarted. If this works, that's awesome. If not, we need to add some code that like waits for the computed properties to be updated, all that stuff. Let's try it. So what should happen is, if we say thank you to Mad Valen, thank you for that follow. Thank you, Flavio Copes, for the follow. And Default with the resub. Thank you very much for that resub. And also, JMX is next. Thank you for the follow. And what should happen is, after I acknowledge this, it should switch back to messages. Wow. It works! It works! The only issue is, I think where it's potentially broken is if I acknowledge a follow not from that view, it's going to switch to follows. Or maybe not. Well, look at us. We've done it. The only issue now is I need to do the same thing with rewards and parking lot. Yeah, follows, rewards, parking lot. And so we can try to like generalize this code. Filters.follow. Easy, yeah. All right. Okay, so this dot filters is an object. So this dot filters is an object that has what we're filtering by right now. And so I can probably say if this dot filters at message type is true and the message type, something like that. So I think something like that. So, okay, just to generalize it, because otherwise I could just write a bunch of if statements. So if the message type is follow, toggle follow. If the message type is reward, toggle reward. This project is using, not using Vue 3 yet. It would be fun to upgrade though. Thank you, Proxin, for that posture check. Okay, let's try it. So, wait, what are the different types? Follow, reward, parked, command. Let's say if there is a message type. And this dot filters has that message type. Why is this complaining? No index segment. Oh, I forgot. We're in TypeScript. That makes it tricky. It's hard to do indexing like this in TypeScript. Well, I mean, I can just ignore it. I can ignore it and say, "Hey, TypeScript, I know reflect.get." Is that how you do it with TypeScript? I've never actually. Okay, let's try it. So the target object is this dot filters, and the thing that we want is message.type. Message.type is a string or undefined, and this is complaining because undefined is not assignable to type string or number. Empty string. Reflect.has, I like that. And that way, you can pass this in. So if, yeah, I mean, an object is not going to have an empty string. That should Message type in filters. I think I like that better. The thing is, like, I've seen some people that are not totally familiar with JavaScript, but they jump right into TypeScript overusing reflect. Now, this is definitely a case where reflect works for us, but I think that would work. I could say if message type is in message.filters. Filters. Nope. TypeScript complains. Property filters does not exist on... No. This.filters. Jeez. Reflect is a newer API that was added to JavaScript. I only know about it because I saw someone that actually didn't really know anything about JavaScript. They have a computer science background, and they just went directly into TypeScript. And I was reviewing their code, and they were using reflect everywhere. It's like they had never used JavaScript before to see like how dynamic it was, and they're using reflect like TypeScript was Java or C#. It definitely has its use cases, but I'll send you a link to this. Basically, if you're in JavaScript, you really don't even need the reflect API because it's possible to just dynamically check if a property exists on an object by using like bracket notation. I mean, you might only use it if you want to get like property descriptors or something like that, but I don't know. And maybe you all can tell me there's some better use cases for reflect. But you can do things like reflect over an object to see if it has a property, or reflect over a property to get its specific property information. Doc is saying it's useful with proxy callbacks. That makes sense. A PHP reflection class. Yeah, and if you've ever used C#, they have a reflection library as well, and it does a similar thing. But the thing is, like, in C# or Java, you need something like that because you can't dynamically ask if the instance of something has a specific property because it needs to be statically typed and checked. So, yeah. We also could use has own property. But, like I showed, the shorthand is just to use bracket notation, and that's easy. I don't know. We're fine. We're fine. Did I share the link? Did someone share the link? What happened? There's the reflect. Check it out. Okay. So if the message type exists and it's in filters, and there are no more messages, then toggle the filter that is of the message type. Let's see. So if I did this right, we should be able to. This should work on follows again. So thank you very much, Natspino, for the follow. Thank you, Fate TWTV, for that follow, and instant switchback. Great. And then if we do the same thing with rewards, Andrew Lane, thank you for the hydrate, and Proxin for the hydrate. I'm gonna switch it up and drink some invisible water, galaxy water. Broken. Oh, maybe because there was a new one. Alucard is Dracula. Thank you for that reward. Did not work. That's why. Because look, we have a separate check up here for type equals reward. I mean, honestly, oh, I know why. Because rewards don't come from the Twitch chat. And my backend has a separate store for rewards versus Twitch chats. Okay. So really I just need to do that. And then I'll say if this.filtered messages toggle filter for rewards. I have to do this one manually just because it's not like Twitch chat. It's coming from a totally separate store. Okay. Yeah, my theme is called Just Black. I know it. I use it. If you do ! Theme, you can get a link. Yeah. And there's all that. Check outside of the if else. Yeah, why not? Why not? I like that idea. Boom. Done. All right. Cool. And so that's another issue is I don't have the code that loads the rewards automatically when this thing loads up, so I lose some of the rewards. But thank you very much, Quelenza, for that follow. We got 2 rewards. One from Ashik, who's redeemed a live code. So the moment you did that, I moved this down. Let's consider that done. And thank you to Zethix for the hydrate. Cheers. That is a pretty good workflow improvement, if I do say so myself. That's a great idea, Andrew. Thank you for suggesting it. Because I always, like, click it and then click back. Yeah, amazing. And thank you, the Black Giant, for that follow. Here, we'll go here, and we'll say, thank you. Nice. And Nurkmind with the Twitch Prime sub, thank you so much. All right, yeah, let's take a look at number 242. What number was this? It was from Andrew. Here we go. So Andrew suggested this. Remove the follow filter once you remove all the follows. Great. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers. It's insane. But thank you. I'll say there's a bug on the Vox website right now. I will remove this message. That's broken. Okay. I need to fix the Vox website. Because I made some updates this morning to do caching because the website was loading really slow, but I left off the logic around removing things. So that's fine. Okay. What if I acknowledge a reward or follow from the parking lot? You're right, because the type is not parking lot. That's a good point. And thank you very much, Luismans, for the gift for the bits. Do I think of using optional chaining? I don't know where I could use that here though, because I mean I guess I could do. Yeah, I mean that has to be either in or reflect. Yeah, I'm not sure where I would use optional chaining here. Do we get 1,000 subs? There were a ton of gifted subs last night. Eki, with the sub, you are the 1,000th subscriber. Thank you so much, Eki. 1,000! We did it! We've done it, everyone. I think this is very much deserving of Yerba Mate's message.type. Oh, Avi, I don't think that's necessary. Blazer Prime with the Twitch Prime sub, and we have a hype train. But it's not necessary here because type is undefined, it's going to be undefined. That's totally fine. And so I don't think there's use for it there. Yeah, thank you, everyone. Yeah. We did it. Wait, time to unsubscribe? Who said that? All right, see you later, Zermax. Thanks for being here. Is my YouTube VOD still going? It is. There's 32 people watching on YouTube. Wow. Scam train, everyone. All right, we got to make Yerba Mate fall from the sky. Goal reach. Time to stop the time to stop the stream. GG, everyone. I think I did like a. Is there like a pixel? Thank you very much, Default, for those 300 bits. Yeah, I saw that, Midsick. There is a hype train thing. We talked about tapping into that so we can, like, do something interesting when a hype train happens. All right. I'm going to run this. Cool. Port 3008. Thank you all for the bits. Thank you to Orbux, thank you very much. Who else? Razor1, thank you for the bits. Turtle Monkey, thank you for the bits. All right, are you ready for the Yerbas? I forget, I think I'm running on port 108. Phoenix Rising with 100 bits. Gabrimbium, thank you for that tier 1 sub. All right. Yerbas. Yes! Yerbas! Cheers, everyone. I'll say the main reason that Yerbas are like our hype emote is because in the past we talked about the Big Mac index. So the Big Mac index is this thing in economics where instead of looking at the exchange rate between countries, you look at like the buying power of a Big Mac in a given country. And what we thought of is instead of using the buying power of a Big Mac, we could use that index, convert it to the price of yerba mate, and then we have like a yerba mate index. And the reason I would do something like that is because we have people that watch from all over the world, and yeah, the overlay just takes a little bit to update. Yeah, we are over 1,000. But the people watch from all. I'm gonna turn this is probably very annoying. I'm gonna turn it off. People watch from all over the world, and so I want people to gift what they are capable of and not feel bad for it. So like in your country, if $1 is like $100 in your currency equivalent, I want that's okay, and I appreciate that. And thank you very much, Chats Gracias, for that gifted sub. A setup tour. There's an old one. Yeah, there's an old one. If you search for and it's still, the only thing different about it is I'm using a dedicated, like a desktop streaming computer instead of a laptop. Coding Garden stream setup. ¿Qué te pasa, amigo? That sounds like, hello. I'm doing good. Nothing's up. Yeah, so it's a little over a year ago. But it shows you all of the gear I use. And like I mentioned, in this one, I was using a Windows laptop, like a Razer, as my streaming computer, and I code on a MacBook. But yeah. I'm just trying to think about what's happening right now. So people are trying to exploit the overlay, because I have a whitelist on domains, and so if you try to embed base64, I'm curious what will actually happen. But CC Gaming with the gift sub, thank you very much, F Bucheros. Oh no, congrats to F Bucheros. And what are we doing? Did I share that link? I shared that link. All right. What's happening? 420 Filthy. Thank you very much for that posture check. Are you Filthy Phil? Or somebody else? Regardless, thank you. Yes, check out this video. Also, if you go to coding.garden/gear, there's a link to all the different stuff that I use. And if you scroll all the way to the bottom, there's like a diagram of how I hook everything up. Well, thank you, Anestra. There you go. What are we doing? Oh yeah, somebody mentioned that this will probably break under the parking lot. So I need to check for that. I've looked at NativeScript. I've never done anything with it, but it looks interesting. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I want to park some things and then see if it works. Hello, Greasy Woot. And P10 Designs, I'm doing pretty good. So yeah, this will probably not work. So if I acknowledge this one, hello, Greasy Woot, and Andrew is parked. Yeah, because the type is not in filters, because right now we're not on parked. Actually, I think all I need to do is just add an extra condition. So I'll say if the parked filter is on. Thank you very much, Nis RSA, with that Twitch Prime sub. So if the parked filter is on, or message type is there, and yeah, message type or parked. There we go. That should do it. So there should be no filters. And we'll park this. The best thing about NativeScript is that it allows you to make apps with Vue. I agree. That's pretty cool. There are other ways of making mobile apps with Vue. What's possible? That's one thing you can use. Max message length. That's just from the Twitch chat, and I think it's 500 characters. Oh, it's an old video. That video of the stream setup is when I was living and working in New York City. But now I'm back in Denver, Colorado. I have a house. All my stuff is set up in my basement. But when I was living and working in New York City, I would literally, anytime I wanted to stream, I would drag my bag full of all of my equipment, my blue screen, my lights. Actually, I wasn't using lights, but my blue screen, my camera, all the stands and everything, and I would set them up, do the stream, and then tear it all down and put it back into the bag. But now it all stays up in my little pixel house here. It's always here. All right, let's test if this worked. So if we go to parked, we acknowledge that, we acknowledge that, we acknowledge that. Nice. And we go into follows as well. Thank you, Dominates, for the follow. Thank you, Visangenez, for the follow. Thank you, who was that? We missed it. I'll look in the chat. Thank you to Bright Iron for the follow. Dev Aprinder and Garoz, thank you for those follows. That is such a huge workflow improvement. If that's all we do today, I am happy with that. And thank you all for the supports. Such strong support. Thank you everyone for the bits. Follow messages in the parking lot. That will probably break. I'll need to fix that. I need to find who followed. And did I leave it off? Kairayapin? I think that was you. Thanks for following. I might have missed that. Yeah, it was Kairayapin. Thanks for being here. All right, but yeah, what happens if... Well, actually, I will say, first of all, FV is thinking like a QA engineer. Because as someone who's QAing an app, you have to think through all the possible scenarios of like, what happens if someone does this? Or what if you get into this condition? And my code might not have accounted for it. But what I will say is I never park a follow. Like, for me, it doesn't make sense to park a follow. But if we park a reward, that's potentially where this could break down. Because if we park a reward and then we come over here and we acknowledge it, yeah. Was that I think that was a hydrate. So we need to fix that. We actually hit 1,000 subs. My overlay is just not updating. Let me see if I can refresh it. There we go. Yeah, we're at 1,000. It's crazy. Crazy. I was the one who asked about it. What do you mean, Andrew? What are you talking about? What? I appreciate... Andrew's the one that gave us the idea to do this. Scroll down. Oh, here, I'll search. What if I park a follow? Oh. Multiple people asked. But the thing is, I won't park a follow. But the better question is, what if I park a reward? Because that does happen. Yeah. And Huangpong965, thank you for that follow. Got another follow from Ashilosek. Thank you for the follow as well. All right, let's account for that. So there we go. So if we're parked, then we'll do that. And honestly, TypeScript, I know more than you, so I'm going to ignore. Or is that how that works? Yeah. So if we are parked, toggle the parked filter. Otherwise, if we're not parked, then I know that message type actually exists, so we're gonna pass that in. All right. Switch the if statements around. Check parking lot and message type separately. There's a lot of viewers, yeah. All right, we need some reward redemptions. So I'm going to redeem that. Oh, thanks. Thank you for the posture check, Casper. But if I park these, and then we go over here, and I acknowledge them. So hello, me, and thank you for the posture check, Casper. Boom! Yes! It works. Okay. I think it was drill. Somebody had another number that I should look at. Something else we should implement. Boom! Kapow! 242. The top bar not be visible at all times, but show on hover of the window. And the uptime to show on the left of the top bar because it feels empty right now. I'm open to hiding it. Like, only show it on hover. Let's see what... Boom! And thank you, Baka Baka, for that hydrate. We'll go here so you can see the Galaxy Cup. Instead of uptime, use it for timers. That's not a bad idea. Like I could set a timer, and we will show the time there. Yeah. Yeah, and thank you, Fat Chocobo. And so, yeah, so somebody just did the badges message. So right now it's manual. We're not like detecting anything about the user, but you can set your country flag to whatever you want it to be. So you can do !country followed by a 2-character country code or the name of your country. Spell it right, and then it will add it. But you can see Doc's from the UK. I think this is a good idea, Doc. We definitely got to get the moderation going. However, I'm only going to be streaming like 30 or 40 minutes. Yeah, the numbers are assigned sequentially. And I got to figure out a better way. So people have mentioned in the past that we should maybe set the numbers here by like the month that they were asked in, because we're going to reach like quadruple digit numbers pretty soon. A light year away with the 3-month resub. Thank you so much. Let me acknowledge all the support events that came in. How long ago? Wow. What even started the hype train? I would say it was probably like 15 minutes. This one, okay. And thank you, Quid TV, for that follow. Who else followed? We missed you. Rose Points. Thank you for being here. Welcome to the Coding Garden. Andrew, great idea. That's like such a workflow improvement. Like it literally, like it switches instantly. I love it. Okay. Thank you, Eki, for that tier 1 sub. Blazer Prime with a Twitch Prime sub. Default with the 300 bits. Turtle Monkey with 100 bits. Thank you very much. Crazy One with the 300 bits. Orbucks with 100 bits. Phoenix Rising with 100 bits. Gabrim with the tier 1 sub. Chas Gracias with the gifted sub. CC Gaming Twitch with the gifted sub. Monoloto with the 50 bits. Nisp with the Twitch Prime sub. And a light year away with the tier 1 3-month resub. And welcome, Portal Gaming. Thank you for that raid. Thanks for being here. It was driving me crazy that I had to click so much. Yeah, I agree. What's up, Zero Turner? This is Murdoch's brother, right? I'm sorry that you're known as Murdoch's brother, but I met Murdoch first. But what's up? Can anyone recommend .NET developers that stream? Definitely C# Fritz. Yeah, check out C# Fritz. He's actually the founder of the Live Coders team. Also, Bald Bearded Builder does a lot of .NET. Also, Clarkio, I think. He may not, but even if he doesn't, check him out. He's awesome. And really just anyone on the Live Coders team you can check out. So if you go to twitch.tv/team/livecoders, you can see people that are live, and every now and then somebody will code it live. Code it live. Do you all do .NET? I think the last time I tuned into Code It Live, they were doing like React, but shout out Code It Live. Code It Live. Talking about jQuery. And thank you, Onyx, for that host. Yeah, that's why this is usually more of like a just chatting stream, because we're just chatting. And thank you for that follow. Nice. Yeah. So I would recommend check out the Live Coders team. Those few definitely drop a follow on C# Fritz, Bald Bearded Builder, and Clarkio. There's probably some others that I'm missing, and I'm sorry if I'm missing. If you're a live coder and you're watching right now, just say something so people can know about you. Yeah, it's tricky. Like, they sometimes talk about what they're doing. I mean, I guess everybody knows that I just work on JavaScript. Informath, what's up? In Portal Gaming. Quick throwback. What's that? Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I know they're on the... I've seen this name on the Live Coders team. I haven't really got a chance to tune in. Looks like they were last working on Blazor and ML.NET. Yeah, so check them out. Thank you, Code It Live. Okay. What are we doing? This is what... oh, yeah, the top bar. So we can... Oh, is that my burp from last night? It was funny. I will say that. What's up, Conrad? It's been a while. Thanks for being here. So we can only show the It's J Fills. Check him out. Are you saying that you're a live coder? Try doing this. It's J Fills. Just say like me, live coder, or say is a live coder, and it'll show it's like a tiny message like that. Shut up. You're last working on mood tracker app. Very cool with Node and Postgres. Nice. Test. All right. We got to pick an idea. I don't know if I like showing the bar. I realize that is a dot. I realize that it takes up space. But I kind of like it. Well, we'll hold on to this idea. Let's see if there's anything else that I can implement fairly quickly. Excuse me. What's up, Piero? Welcome to the show. I could use the /me format for emote-only messages. That's an amazing idea. Let's just do that right now, because I'm pretty sure we have access to whether or not a message is emote-only. Right? Right? Like, here. Yeah, no worries, it's JFills. Here's the thing. The Live Coders team is a team. And they have the name Live Coders, but there are a lot of people on Twitch that are not on that team, but you're still a live coder. Because live coding is a general term, and so I appreciate you. Thank you for live coding on Twitch. All right, what are we doing? We're looking at the network. I want to see... I want to see whenever a... give me just a second. I don't want to reveal my API key. And I didn't reveal my API key, for those of you wondering. So here we go. And hot tip. So if you have not learned anything in this stream yet, here's something that you may not know. If you are trying to debug WebSockets in Chrome and also Firefox, they have a way of filtering for one by WebSockets. And then you can click on a WebSocket event and you can see all of those messages coming through. Yeah. Fist bump. So you can see every time a message comes through, I actually get this socket event that says like Twitch chat created. Or like fist bump. Oh yeah, so that one is actually a good example of actually let's send some emote only messages. You leaked your OAuth key? Don't do that. All right, the most recent message is an emote only message. Right? No, not that one. That was a drop message. You're sending messages too fast. Firefox Electron win. That'd be cool. I don't know, like, what is... I guess Firefox is open source. But yeah. Cool. So, cool, yeah. So look at our messages have emote only. Our messages have emote only set to true, and that's automatically set by Twitch IRC. And so if we look at that, we can pass that in as whether or not the message should be displayed as /me. The only issue is that it like wraps. Yeah, those are WebSockets. Yeah, so those are real-time socket events that are being emitted by the server. Look at all these emotes. Real-time socket events being emitted, and then this overlay is listening for those events and then showing them in the UI. But that could be as easy as something like this. So if I look at my message list component, I think we're passing down... Where are we passing down if it's a me message? Is that on the card itself? Yeah, so we're saying me. Message type equals action or message dot emote only. Look at that. That's awesome. Voice of Grok. Yeah, look at that. I like that. So emote only messages are now like small, just like that. It's beautiful. Look at it. It's amazing. Alka's probably sleeping right now. Oh, that did not get detected. Oh, because it's... so here's the thing. If it's better Twitch TV emotes, it's not going to be detected as emote only. Because emote only gets set by Twitch IRC based on Twitch emotes. I could do my own detection. I think that's good enough for now. That's good enough for now. Yeah. And so, yeah, Andrew says it. BTTV emotes won't work. Oh, that's good to know, Infi. Yeah. I'll be the first to try it when it happens. All small messages are good. So yeah, do the Frankerface or Better Twitch TV APIs tell you if a message is emote only? Because we are embedding BTTV and Frankerface emotes. It's just a matter of determining if that message is emote only. Okay, what else can I do in like the next 10 minutes? Emotes. Oh yeah, let me acknowledge these follows. Injakapeka, thank you for that follow. Dead Pixels, thanks for being here. And Casey, thanks for being here as well. And thank you, Orbux, for that hydrate. Cheers. And Summersoft, thank you for that follow. The top bar, I want to keep it. I like my top bar. 671. An unstable control. Thank you for that follow. How to make a private room using Sakureo and Mongoose. This is not an idea. It's more of a question. Though I will say it's possible. What you want to look into is Feathers.js channels. Now, I will say Feathers.js channels took me so long to wrap my head around, but basically they are a way of grouping socket messages by like type and user have access to. No worries, Ribbon Daddy. Welcome, Lydium. Thanks for being here. There are somehow still 45 people watching this on YouTube right now. I think it's so funny. Okay. 672 is like 2 words of code. All right, let's see what that one is. Limit the intro or waiting overload to like 10 message. Yeah, let's just do that really quick. That actually is very easy. So if I look at the overlay, that is just bringing in the CG message list. YouTube streaming is meh. I agree. Hello, BM Vinicius. Thanks for being here. Oh, nice. Spoiler, we're probably going to raid Instafluff. Okay. What advice would I give to young coders to learn for the future? Young coders? Here's the thing. Excuse me. If you have enough initiative, you can you can build things and be just as good at building things as like professional developers when you're like very young, because there are so many free online resources to learn all these things, totally free. Learn anything. Yeah, you don't need to go to college, you don't need to buy a course. There are enough resources online to just learn anything that you want. So yes, practice a ton, keep trying, keep learning, and just do things. Like don't let your age limit what you do just because people say like, oh, you're too young to do this. Just do it. That's my advice. Just do it. Keep coding. All right, what was that number? 676. Revive Newt, thank you for the host. Close on click instead of the close button. Just do it. Oh, thank you, Conrad. I don't know how I feel about this. The only issue is I will accidentally click. And thank you very much, Grepple, for that Twitch Prime sub. Right click could work. Yeah, because right now right click is gone. Okay, but what was the other number? 672. Oh, you keep saying it. I got distracted. Yeah, I think what I need to do is the CG message list. I need to pass in like the message limit, and that could be something like 10. That's for the overlay. And so I need a message limit prop on the CG message list. I think... No. Never mind. That was a bad way to do that. The main reason that's a bad way to do that is because I guess I could use a computed property, but basically this overlay component is the thing that runs this screen. So you'll see right now that it's frozen. It's frozen because those messages were sent a long time ago, and it kept them. And so then it took a second before it sees the latest messages. So what we're about to do is we're going to make it so that that screen only keeps track of the last 10 messages, and that way it doesn't have to catch up so much. Where am I going to do that? So we have recent messages. This.messages.filter. Not an acknowledgement, not a command. .slice. 0 to 10. There we go. That's it. So this on the overlay should only show the last 10 messages. Let's see. Look at that. All right, so I need you all to just spam. Well, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to switch back to this screen, and you should just spam emotes. So just say a bunch of things. Spam, yes. Because the main issue is when we go back to that screen, it had an issue catching up. But yeah, that's enough. You can stop now. And if we go back, wow, that's amazing. Look at how that's quick, right? We go here, we go there. Beautiful. All right, I need to do that on this screen. So this screen is it's also broken. But it's going to be a similar bit of code. So this is one thing that I need to refactor is technically like all three of these apps could use the exact same JavaScript code, but it's like slightly different. So it's duplicated. But if we look at this is chat web. And then we just look at recent messages. We'll just grab the last, I don't know, probably the last 20 instead of just 10. Cool. All right. Spam emotes. Yeah, I forgot to turn on the emote camera. Oh, geez, Andrew. But that should be good. So now if we go back here. Yeah, that's amazing. It's crazy how one line of code can just improve the experience so much, right? Like 7 characters. And we go back over here. Beautiful. Back over here. Great work, everyone. Great work. Yeah, thank you, Drills. The idea. Moderation for status messages, a clear status. I'll do this next time. There are a ton of good suggestions. Would I ever dabble in Clojure? I'm not opposed to it. However, we've just been doing so much JavaScript here that I've barely ever ventured out. But I'm not opposed to it. I broke the Vox website. So I need to fix it. And thank you very much, Baki Baka, for those 50 bits. But I need to fix archiving. And then there's an issue where when you refresh the page, the archive messages show up again. I gotta fix it. The other chat screens are still sliding in from the right, while the main one is sliding down. I think you just commented out the animation. Yeah, I like the slide in from the right animation. I think it's okay. It gives it a little more character. You know, I don't know. I could use the same animation. I think it looks okay. Thank you for pointing that out, though, Chad. I like Mac OS X. Yep. I do prefer it over Windows. 672 and 680. Yeah, so but what I'm thinking, Chad, is if we're ever in a raid, I'll be on this screen. Yeah, it does need moderation commands, but I have to go. Let me acknowledge the follows, and then we'll get on out of here. Thank you very much to a guy from the offline world. Thank you for being here. Thank you for that follow. Lutetium Vanidium, thank you for the follow. Lorenzo, thank you for the follow. Rambish, thank you for the follow. Lucifer, thanks for being here. Flesky Gamings, I appreciate you. And what do we have here? Mirus with the hydrate. Galaxy Cut. It's funny every time. Vonaway has redeemed 1 line of code. What should we do with that? I didn't archive. I will archive. It's just broken right now, but I'll come back. I'll come back through it. Can we all agree on Mac software being amazing, but while the hardware that comes along is actually bad? Yeah, I agree. I mean, like for the price for performance of a MacBook versus just a a PC is like PC wins hands down. But I do prefer Mac. It's like a nice version of Linux because it's based off FreeBSD. It's like Linux but with more explicit tracking software built into it. However, I don't use iCloud. I don't use any of the Apple things. They're still probably tracking me though. Oh, no worries, Acid Spark. Thanks for dropping by. Mongo/Mongoose or Postgres connects. It really depends on the app that you're building. Yeah. 679. The new ARM chips will ruin the apples. Yeah, I mean, it reminds me of when they switched from PowerPC to Intel, which I think was a good switch, but a lot of apps just broke. And that'll probably happen again with ARM. Combine multiple comments in a row from one person. I like that idea. I saw that, I think it was Strager's chat overlay does that. Shout out Strager. He does a lot of code reviews, but he also does a lot of very low level assembly reverse engineering. But regardless, his chat overlay does what you just suggested. I like that. Where if one person sends multiple messages back to back, they all group together. I like this idea, but I gotta go. Absolutely. So I mean, well, you can get an open because Android is Google and Google is absolutely tracking you, but there are open source builds of Android specifically built in where they remove a lot of the Google tracking stuff. The only issue is if you're used to the Google ecosystem, your phone almost becomes unusable because you can't use the Play Store, you can't use Gmail. But it's possible to create an Android phone that doesn't have all the Google tracking stuff on it. So here's the thing, Proxin. You always can create a new test file that doesn't have the same name as one of your components. You could literally call it routes.test, even though your components have different names. So yeah. Oh, okay. There are a few bugs. I made some last minute changes this morning just because if you remember, if you visited the Vox site before, when you first load the page, it took a good 20 seconds for it to load, and I added some caching. But I also introduced some bugs in doing that. And Find Maestro, thank you for that follow. Burr. Nice, Grep. Thank you, MiroDev. Can I do a brief polyfill once more? You know, why not? Because I am going on vacation, we're going to polyfill. Let's polyfill Object.entries. That'll make for some good YouTube content. And so I'll mention this right now. I am not going to be streaming for the next 5 to 7 days. For sure 5, maybe 7. But I have old VODs that are scheduled to premiere on YouTube over the next week. Probably one per day. So videos will be keep getting released. Yeah. Back to back doesn't really happen here since you're usually in slow mode. I guess that's true. That's true. Yeah. Vox? What? Yeah. I mean, the thing is, you can use something like Lineage.js, which is the predecessor. Is that the right word? It came after CyanogenMod. And you can actually use it without all of the Google stuff installed, but there's probably still some stuff in there. Yeah. Polyfill CJ while you're on vacation. Yeah, it's not how to not get tracked. It's who do you prefer to track you. And for me, I have settled on the fact that my life is built around Google products. I use YouTube and Gmail and Hangouts. So Google is the company that I'm allowing to track me, and I try to avoid all other products for the most part. Let's see. Oh, this one. Oh. I actually tried this, Drills, and I did not like the way it looked. I did not like it. Because it's a pretty simple media query to do it, but it does not look good. All right, see you later, Craigie. Thanks for being here, and thank you, Gene, for that follow. It's a staycation, so I'm just going to stay here. But I'm going to install all of the apps that could possibly notify me or distract me, and I'm just going to chill, relax, unplug. Lineage.js is probably one of the best ones out there. That's it's not running. So I have a Pixel XL. This is just running stock firmware. because stock Android on a Pixel is it's beautiful. But if you want that same feel, Lineage OS is definitely the way to go. And they have nightly releases, so they stay updated, and they have all the latest security updates too. The premiere is still going, yeah. Actually, I mean, I think this is like a 2 to 3 hour live stream. It's got another hour left in it. Not right now, but what I will say is I've been streaming for like 2.5 years, and before that I was a teacher of coding and development. So live streaming for me is a very natural transition from that, because I'm basically teaching, but also we're kind of just hanging out. But that's my background. And currently I'm not a teacher. I work at a software consultancy, and I build full stack apps. The Pixel must track everything. Probably. I mean, it is a Google ROM. Yeah. And SKSS, thank you for that follow. Yeah, not a few weeks, just a week. Because the thing is, it was last minute, but I did get it approved at work. But yeah. And Notch says, thank you for that follow as well. But my screen is huge. Okay. Well, maybe we could enable it for larger screens. I can't do reruns because I'm not a partner. You can only do reruns if you're a partner. I mean, technically, I could play a video through OBS and stream it to Twitch. I don't know if that's against their terms. I'll look into it, because we could do that. To know many things. I mean, I don't consider it flexing. Like, the thing about it is, like, I really like to share my knowledge. Like, and I like to make coding fun. Like, I mean, I realize that for a lot of people it's a job, and jobs usually aren't fun. But for me, it's fun. Like, coding is my hobby and my job and the thing that I like really like to do. So I try to make it enjoyable. Yeah. Excuse me. What if I get so here's the thing. Like, this is one of the main reasons that I have not taken a break and I've been streaming so often, is because I put in my partner application. Let's just see when I put in my partner application, because it was probably close to like a month and a half ago. And I mean, part of being a partner is you need to stream at least 3 days a week, but I need a break. So May 28th. May 28th? So a month. It was a month ago, not a month and a half. Time flies, but how many days since May 28th? 35. So I applied to be a Twitch partner 35 days ago. The message says it'll take 7 days, so I don't know what happened. And I was really waiting for it to either get accepted or denied, but I'm going on vacation. I don't care. So if I were a developer at Apple, what would I change about iOS? I would stop pretending that you're not copying Android and just go ahead and implement all the Android features, because that's what iOS does anyways. Every year, they just release some new features that have always been on Android for whatever reason. I don't know why they're taking so long. Why can't they just do it? I don't know. I didn't write code. I think I want to implement Object.entries. We're behind on chat though. And thank you, Diener, for that hydrate. Cheers. Yeah, and that's another thing is, like, when I'm writing code, I want to make sure that, and also because a lot of people used to watch on mobile. Some people still, if you're watching on mobile, type 1 in the chat right now. But I like to make it so that if you're watching on mobile, it's still possible to actually read the code on my screen. And Koozie, thank you for that stretch. There's a few mobile people. Nice. Very nice. Just moved from my phone. Cool. And CS Mountain Dew with the Twitch Prime sub. Thank you so much. And Raphael, thank you for that posture check redemption. Cool. All right. What are we doing? What are we doing? I think I'm going to polyfill Object.entries. Yeah, who's watching on their fancy TV? Polyfills? How do you spell polyfills? Oh, well, thank you, Obey. Polyfills. Fills. 2 L's, 1 L. 1L. I think I did it right. And thank you, Vonaway, for that one line of code. We're going to do it. Polyfills. I think I did it. That's my accomplishment today, is spelling things correctly. 8K? Who has an 8K TV? Is it being upscaled? Yeah, I forgot to turn on the LEDs camera. Though technically the LEDs are plugged in, so if any of you have ran LED commands, they're technically turning them on and off. All right, see you later, Miro Dev. Thanks for being here. All right. This will be the last bit of code that I write on stream before I go on vacation. And we're going to try to turn it into YouTube content. So I'll try to teach this as like a lesson. We'll then cut it down, upload it as a YouTube video. Let's prepare for that. Content. Content. We're going to look up Object.entries on MDN. Just to show it. And then we'll do it. All right, who's ready? I'm ready. Let's see, can I do this in 11 minutes? I don't know if I want to set a timer. I'll just do it as fast as possible. Just for kicks. So I'm going to do focus mode for 20 minutes, but we should be done before that. Have I ever thought of creating a subreddit? No, mainly because a lot of my experiences submitting things to Reddit are very negative. the people that leave comments are very critical and negative, so I just avoid it. I use Reddit myself, but if I try to submit stuff there, it always does not end well. Thank you, Hacks, for that focus mode. We're going to enable it. r/coding garden. And Cross Marion, thank you for the follow. r/procrastinating with CJ. Reddit can definitely be toxic. And Zero Turner, thank you for the focus mode. So we got 2 focuses, 1 line of code. We're going to do it. We're going to do it right now. And we got a follow. Thank you to Obey. Thanks for being here. Are you ready for this content? Wait, I shouldn't click that button. All right. All right, everyone, let's stop talking about Reddit. We're going to make a YouTube video. Is everybody ready? Type content if you're ready. Am I ever? Hello, friends. Welcome to this video here on the Coding Garden, where I will implement Object.entries from scratch. So if you haven't heard of Object.entries, it's fairly new in the JavaScript world. It's a function that is built into the global object that allows you to take the properties of an object and turn it into an array of arrays that include the keys and the values, the properties and their values of that object. So let's see an example of it, and then we're going to implement it from scratch. So for instance, let's say I have a person, and that is an object, and that person has a name, which is CJ, and a channel, which is Coding Garden. Great, so object, 2 properties. What I can do is I can say object.entries, object.entries, and I can pass in the person. And I'm going to just run this with Quokka, which is a tool that runs inside of my editor to actually show me the output of console logs. But as you can see, this gives us back an array where the first value in the array is an array of 2 values, name and CJ, and then the second item in the array is an array with channel and Coding Garden. So basically we're taking each of the key value pairs of the object and turning it into an array inside of an array of arrays. And this will work with any object. I'll note that it only goes 1 level deep. So if I have something like a dog property with like a name Panzer, if we look, there will be an entry with dog, but the value itself is not nested into like more nested arrays. It's just the single value as the second property in the array. Cool. And this is pretty useful for doing things like reduces and maps over the items in an object. But what I'm going to show you is how can we actually implement our own object.entries. Yeah, and Aerodynamic is mentioning, yeah, you could make it recursive. You could make it go all the way down if you really wanted to, but we're only going to do one level deep. All right, so I need myself a function that is called, let's call it getEntries. And that takes in some, we'll call it the target. That's like the object that we're going to be iterating over. And to do this, I will probably use, or I guess I will use, object.keys. So object.keys has existed in JavaScript for a long time, and it gives you access to all the keys of an object. So like I can call it, and I get an array that gives us name, channel, and dog. So let's just say the keys are equal to object.keys with the target. And if we just log the keys, and then I call this function. So if I call getEntries on person, we see that the keys are name, channel, and dog. So that's easy enough. Now, I believe like we technically could get another array called values. Like I could say like values is object.values with the target. And that'll just give us a separate array with the values. So that's nice. Then we really just need to combine them together. But what I'm curious about right now is where are keys and values supported? Because I'm not sure how long they've been around. So we can take a look at caniuse.com. And caniuse.com tells us where these things are supported. So for instance, if I search for object.entries, we can see that it is not at all supported in IE 11. It's supported across most other browsers, but IE 11 does not have object.entries. But if we look at object.keys, it exists all the way back to at least IE 9 and everywhere else. And if we look at object.values, that actually does not exist even in IE 11. That's crazy. Well, what world are we living in? I mean, this isn't a video about IE support, but I'm just noting, like, why? Why does object values not supported in IE 11? Okay, so let's pretend that we actually don't have access to object.values. And so what I'm going to do now is I have the keys, so I need to iterate over the object to get the values for those corresponding keys. And so first I'm going to create an array called entries that's just empty. And then we're going to build up this entries array as we iterate over the keys. So I'm going to say keys.forEach key. And then for every key, I need to get the value, I need to put the key and the value into an array, and I need to push that array into entries. So I can say the value is going to be target bracket key. So in JavaScript, we can use bracket notation to get access to a property inside of an object dynamically. So key will have like the thing's name or channel or dog inside of it. And this line of code is going to reach in and grab that specific value. Right, and then now we have that in the array there. So what we need to do is we'll say entries.push an array that has the key and the value, just like that. And after all of this, we'll just return the entries. And if we say the entries is equal to that, and then we log them, we have implemented object.entries. Very cool. Now I'll show a couple of other ways to implement this. Yeah, so like Drills is recommending reduce. I also could have used a for loop or something like that, but let's turn this keys, and actually I think it would make sense here to use a map instead of a reduce, because we're turning an array of keys into an array of arrays of keys and values. So what I could do here instead is actually return keys.map, and then we no longer need to create this entries item. And instead of pushing into the entries array, this map just returns that item that I want to show up in the result. Let's log entries again. And it still works. Let's see, we have name CJ, channel coding garden, dog, Panzer. And so I know that happened really fast, but like put the video on half speed and just like watch what just happened there. Instead of creating an array, iterating, pushing into the array, and then returning the array, a map allows us to do that kind of all in one go. And basically, each thing that's returned from this function will show up in the resulting array. Yep. Yeah, technically we could use a reduce, but I'm happy with this solution. I like this. I think that's all. That's it. So thank you for watching this short video on Object.entries. I hope you learned a little bit. Tune in on Twitch, twitch.tv/codinggarden. I go live every now and then where we do stuff like this. Thank you for all the people that were live with me while this happened. I just want to prove to you. I want to prove to you that people are actually watching me. This is real. This is real. Look, there are over 300 people watching me right now. All right, thanks for being here. See you next time. I was here. This was first on Twitch. Cool. We're famous. Alrighty, everyone. I'm gonna go on vacation. Thank you very much, Web. That's it. I'm on TV. Content. I just found out that half of the Chicken Tender website is broken when you use the DuckDuckGo privacy browser expansion. I could see it happening. Like the images are being loaded or not being loaded because of cookies or something like that. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, so the plan is I'll probably send a message on Twitter and a message on Discord just to let anyone know that doesn't know. But I'm going to be on vacation for the next 5 to 7 days. I'm uninstalling Discord. I'm uninstalling YouTube. I'm uninstalling Twitch. I will be completely and totally disconnected. I'm going to talk to the mods about how to handle all that. But yeah, I'm going to completely disconnect. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just staying at home. But I am going to disconnect and just like recenter myself. But thank you, everyone that just followed while that was happening. Thank you to Inca and Kalung and Condor and Injin, thank you. And Useragustus, thank you very much. And MVRD, thank you for the follow. Nabo, thank you for the follow. Mr. Soundless, thank you for the follow. And Golden Cartel with the stretch. And Depopalm with that hydrate. One last Galaxy Cup. Cheers. Famous last words. Yeah, it's good to disconnect. I recommend it to anyone else. Like if you have the opportunity, definitely disconnect if you can. And thank you everyone for all the thanks. And Sniper Fire, thank you for that follow. Okay. First of all, we're over 1,000 subs. That's insane. We're less than 300 away from 10,000 followers. We're growing. The Coding Garden community is growing, and I thank you all for being here. All right, that's it. We are going to raid, so stick around for the raid. We'll get those raid messages in the chat. Yeah, that is 10% subs. Look at the chat though. It works. The chat works. It doesn't break. We fixed that today. Alrighty, everyone. Wherever you are in the world, have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night. I'll see you after my staycation. And until then, here's this.